Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop is the latest Netflix release that has just wowed me. Directed by Kyohei Ishiguro, who you may know as the director of Your Lie in April, or Your Cry in April. If you tell me that you watched Your Lie in April and didn't cry, then I don't trust you as a person, and I want you to be aware of that. No, but here he makes his film directorial debut with Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, an original anime movie about a boy named Cherry and a girl named Smile who literally bump into each other at the mall. Cherry is a boy who loves writing haikus, but cannot really bring himself to speak them out loud or share them with other people. And he also always wears a set of noise-canceling headphones just to cancel out the world around him. While Smile is a growing pop idol online who is gaining a pretty major following, but is so self-conscious about her buck teeth that she's taken to wearing a face mask. This movie feels unique in a few really specific ways. One of them is that it is a pretty perfect summertime romance movie. It perfectly captures those feelings of summer in your adolescence. And the growing connection between Cherry and Smile throughout the film is heartwarming. This is a rom-com, so obviously it's about their growing relationship, but it's also about getting into each other's lives and meeting new people and growing together and going on adventures side by side. This film is exceptional in the way that it builds its side characters out. Of course, you have the friends of both of our main characters, who are all incredibly delightful, but you also have people they meet, like Cherry works at an old folks home, and they meet a number of beautiful and supportive people in that environment, and get to know some people a little more than you would expect. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but this is a heartwarming movie. Absolutely a perfect movie to watch in the waning days of summer. I can even see the joy in watching this in the dead of winter just to feel that summertime joy again. That is one of the things that feels so present in it, is that joy in summertime. There's a lot of movies that take place in the summer, anime or otherwise, but there's something about the way the art, the animation, and the storyline just captures that feeling of freedom that you get in the summertime. A kind of sense of adventure that comes out in those days. Speaking of the animation, that's another huge selling point. Just from the trailer, this is what captured my eye about this movie specifically. It reminds me a lot of Great Pretender, the new Wit Studios production that came out last year, which I have been raving about, and if you haven't seen my video on it, watch it. That's an anime you should watch. But getting back to Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, the background animations feel like pop art. Like you could take one of these stills and just frame it. These are some of the most artistic and gorgeous skies that I can think of, and the backgrounds in these sets, they all work to add to that summer feeling. Also, look at the lights here. I mentioned this when I actually talked about Great Pretender, because it does something very similar, but I love the light and the art style of this. These are gorgeous sets. Not to say that the character animation isn't amazing as well, because of course it is. The animation is fluid, not complicated, but it doesn't really have to be in these cases. It does exactly what it needs to fit every scene. And these colors, these contrasting bursts of colors, are so engaging to the eye. On its animation alone, I would say this is something to check out or to look at, to examine its style, because this is a really unique art style that I would love to see expanded on more productions. As I mentioned, a recent anime also did this in Great Pretender, but I would want to see more like this. I really enjoy these kind of bursts of color. It almost reminds me of Skate the Infinite, though Skate was a little more toned back into general anime stylings. A tad bit less crazy than what's going on here, but I hope you get my point. I do love these kind of unique bursts of flavor that occur in these backgrounds. For some reason, the character designs remind me a lot of Fooly Cooly or a Studio Trigger show, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's just some part of my brain is triggering whenever I see these characters, especially with Cherry and his friends, which is absolutely not a bad thing at all. I love the style that they're going for, but it is something that I noticed, so I just want to bring that up. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. I wanted to keep this pretty brief. Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop is a beautiful movie that made me tear up just a few times at the end there and stay through the credits. That's a big thing there. Not gonna say why. You don't need to know why. Just stay through the credits. It's fine. This is a beautiful movie, heartfelt, genuine, and original. Even in the ways that it's not an original concept. Of course, summertime romances, it's not new. I'm sure you've seen plenty of movies like that before. But this is one of the best movies at capturing that feeling and capturing that environment. The soul of summer seeps through every frame of this movie. And the animation and the quality of backgrounds and styles and the characters and people that you meet through it are just exhilarating. It is one of the best movies of 2021 that I have seen, this is technically a 2020 movie because it was shown in festivals back then, but this is its wide release right now because of everything happening with the world at the moment. So, you know, the point is, if you have Netflix, then set yourself some time and watch this movie. It is only an hour and a half long, very easy to get through, and you know, once you get through it, I'm pretty sure you'll be tempted to go through it again. I know I was. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, a great night, or whatever it is you're having, and stay rad.